What up, y'all? Welcome to, oh wow. Welcome to your live exclusive tarot report for Virgo season 2025. This is the Peace Dealer. And yeah, let's jump right into these three readings. You know what the deal is. On Thursday, we'll do the pick a card readings. And yeah, one major message that I have is that I think you might be receptive to some who are too focused on maybe moods. You know how someone may want something over you so bad, they get desperate and have to really just grasp at straws so they can look at maybe how happy or positive you seem when what you have already secured for yourself can't really be taken away, ruined, blocked. um it's within an access that most other people can't reach. So you may experience this disillusionment of whoever fits within that archetype, realizing there's really absolutely nothing they can do to really stop what you have already secured for and through yourself. And you, in of course staying true to what it is you have committed to, they are realizing that everything that they've ever done in spite of you has only ended up serving you and working towards that. That I feel like is one of the most major Virgo season 2025 revelations. Um, and I think what's also significant relative to that is this enables you, or this will kind of coincide with you being able to come into so much more, success doing what you're doing. Everything works in my favor. Um, a classic example of this are people with irrational anger or irrational negativity towards you for maybe some of the most meaningless stuff that's not even really based in reality. Putting your name out there in high circles and places, giving you access to people who they want to spin against you, but would have never even known you exist if that person didn't try to talk dirt on your name, if those people didn't try to make you look bad. Unfortunately, what they didn't realize is that these beings cannot be manipulated the way that they weren't able to manipulate you. And all they did was give access to people who may have never even heard of you. And now, in those people actually checking you out, you've gained another supporter. And this is how, without even having to be aware of all this low hanging fruit, low level gossip and drama, you not only exist above and outside it, but it actively serves you. Versus if you lower yourself and you try and get in the mud and prove yourself when there's no one you have to prove yourself to, and there's nothing for you to prove but to just continually demonstrate. Yeah, this is with and through the eclipse getting ready to change so much of the perspective relative to what strategies you move forward with and how this shapes your beliefs. Double shot of Venus. We celebrate your cat's entrance into cat paradise and cat heaven. All right. Thank you, Gene. It's so interesting because I think this happening near the full moon will also help you release. I like to believe that during the full moon, souls cross over. I saw that from a Japanese manga and it stuck with me. Soul Cartel, for those of you who wanted to know. I think the whole manga starts off with that premise. But that being said, guys, we're going to go into these tarot readings. I want to once again re-emphasize the significance of this. This whole dynamic isn't, oh, the whole world is against you and everyone's trying to talk shit on you. This is also going to be revealing the unlikely support that you have had from people you could have never imagined are rooting for you, and you with which you honor by showing up every day, even if you don't show up always in the way that you may like, and even if you take some time off, you show up when it counts. And you're just in the right place in the right time for people to receive what it is they need from you. So as we break through that full moon aspect, you're going to see these possessed ingrates and these useless wastes of space who are really just frustrated because you are who they never could be. And so they have to bring up all sorts of irrelevant facets that are more based on their belief systems and framework of reality versus reality itself. You really get to sit front row to see their downfall. You really get to see how their willingness to try and end you, their willingness to try and cancel you, only ended up getting them canceled. Whereas you, instead of trying to run away from the issue, met it head on and stood on your own too and took whatever came with it. You know, those who work and are evil can't stand to see those who are good succeed. And they now have to sit front row to watch you achieve what they couldn't even achieve, even with all these resources, connections, and with all their entitledness. They feel entitled to other people's energy. They feel entitled to how people should live their lives because, you know, they can't even hold a candle to you with while having less resources than they have. I feel this very strong, right? I'm so glad this is on point for you guys. This is definitely going to resonate because you're not a weak ass little stupid bitch. You're dealing with weak, stupid little bitches as you phase them out of your energy and just connect with more support. So I want to make it clear here. You have a lot of support. You have a silent majority's worth of support. We're just out here playing our role. We're not minding other people's businesses. We're not sticking our nose in drama. The drama makes our way to us. We hear about these things. We're not out here proliferating it. All right. Sometimes I am. I feel you, holistic integration is cool. But regardless, you know, you're going, now that you have maintained this consistency and integrity, it has carved the way for you to connect more with support and for you to realize the support you've always had. Not the support that is really just akin to an echo chamber, but the support that helps guide you along what you're already constructively, committing to and succeeding with. All right. Another thing is, of course, this idea of success, this idea of what constitutes being successful. And people will really trade away what that truly is just to gain an image of it, just to look the part, just to be accepted by people who they think are, because they've given their power away to these concepts while just ringing hollow, getting all that stuff and still needing to escape in order to gain certain things despite the stuff they thought they were supposed to have, versus y'all who saw through it for what it is and refuse to give up your real power to gain a construct, something born of a construct that's not even eternal. All right. So, you know, these same stupid cannon fodder will actually call you corny for that, because you actually value things that are true and not fleeting. These are the same people that constantly need to upgrade what they have to keep up with the Joneses. I don't even know why it's a competition or comparison at this point. They never held a candle to you. They never stood a chance. And they means any single person that is content with seeing you as less than you are. Doesn't matter who they are. Anyone who is content with dealing with you or acknowledging you as less than what and who you are. And this is so important. Like, this is Saturn and Neptune and Aries coming out of Pisces, going back into Pisces. You are standing 10 toes down on who you have integrity in being. And the Neptunian facet of this is it should be delusional to other people. When I say that I'm trans divine and I'm a divine being in a human body, that shit should sound weird as fuck to other people. That it's not supposed to be completely accepted. We lead in a movement, okay? You know what I'm saying? I've connected with various aliens, gods, goddesses, kings, queens that have to interface with this limited, conventional, social, systematic grind of trying to fit everything in a box. And y'all are too smart to fall for that bullshit. So a lot of the shame and guilt manipulation does not affect you, and your inability to be manipulated and controlled makes you more of a threat. And as you process, a lot of you need to have more patience with yourself, especially if you are a millennial, even Gen X. Pluto Virgo, thankfully, you've paved the way enough for you to kind of process most of what needs to be processed. You're coming into your fulfillment and completion. But Gen X, millennials, you guys are processing like decades to a century worth of stuff that was just dropped on you. And such processing requires you to do nothing, which goes against this lie of having to constantly be productive and to feel like if you're doing more, you're somehow succeeding more, when you have a subconscious mind that is desperately begging you to just relax and do nothing and allow it to process everything you've even been through now. Like, most of you have lived through the 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. That's 30 years of so much fuckery you have yet to completely process. Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen Beta, anyone born after 95, 96, they were born with ridiculously advanced processors. So they're able to process even more than we are in a considerably quicker amount of time. So you have these Gen Z and Gen Alphas talking to millennials and Gen X's like they're our age. You have them kind of making sense of concepts that took us like 20 plus years to realistically process, because they're alien freaky babies that are here to create a whole new world. They're not here to inherit the bullshit that was left behind for us to deal with, the false broken promises about insert dream and, oh, you need to work this much so that you can get this house, with which was all a fucking lie. Okay, not an excuse. We are meant to adapt through this. But yeah, those of us with Pluto and Libra and Scorpio, we're meant to process this not as fast. It's not supposed to be as quickly, because we're processing at that greatest level, which now will constitute everything. It's once again not like the new generation that has a cutoff date. Like, if you ask Gen Z anything past a certain time, they don't give a fuck about that. They're not here to give a fuck about that. It does not impact them. Someone who's born in the age of iPads does not really give a fuck about how hard it was when we had to have fax machines. Unlike us millennials and Gen X's, where when we grew up, we were still using fax machines. We're still using corded phones, okay? And that's just one example. So allow yourself that time to process and stop letting other people who don't know shit about you, but just have an idea of who you should be, to tell you how to live your fucking life. To tell you, oh, you need to be doing more. No, they need to be sucking your dick if they're going to be opening their mouth, all right, to tell you anything, especially if you're a woman. Tell them to suck your big fat dick. They need to shut the fuck up talking to you. That's just the facts. If they're not willing to recognize what you are doing and who you are, all right, we're from the 19s, all right, so that, I hope that's reassurance for some of you, in case you're giving in to this lie that you're not doing enough. There's nothing for you to do. There's everything for you to be. You be, then you do, and then you have. What if it's our parents who aren't willing to recognize it? It's 100%, 1,000 going to be mostly your parents to a degree, I feel like they're supposed to. I feel like some of you signed up for that. I feel like some of you signed up for that pressure to have to break through any difficulty from you. It's always going to be family first. And I love Big Jupiter. I love that you mentioned that, because I can't really understate the importance of having issues with family, of having to be able to form and carve your own identity outside of family expectation. And your parents who you chose might have had to play the role of refusing to recognize you, whether because they were wanting to protect you because of how they were traumatized or how they had to grow up relative to their day and age, or because you're meant to show them that, hey, that shit don't fly or work with me. Okay. I mean, I don't want to necessarily act like we know everything and our parents don't, but you know exactly the friction you may have with certain parents. That's the first test that's supposed, versus a parent that just enables you and just wants you to be happy and doesn't really challenge you. You're a badass motherfucker. That's why you chose the family situation that you have. I'm like Skywalker and my Capricorn mother is Darth Vader. I love that. Be, do, have. So I wanted to get that out the way. They hate you because they ain't you. As much as they want to show you up and act like you wish that you were them, they cannot go a single day without thinking about you minding your business. The only reason why they come into your circuit is because you're hearing about what they said about you, or they're trying to, you know what I'm saying? Not you telling everyone. All right. So like, they can't go a single day without thinking about you, comparing to you. You have this obsession over you because you refuse to get with the program. And all these people did was just reveal their agents of the matrix, compromised souls with no identity of their own, who need a higher authority to tell them what to do and how to think. And because that's how they gain value, they're going to judge everyone through that lens. When they're just cannon fodder. They're so many people are not going to make it through this next round of the Hunger Games. A lot of people died during the first round, 2008 to 2024. It's going to exponentially be more. And as you see everyone in the world go through this level of difficulty, you're going to thank yourself for staying true to what has been revealed you're meant to commit to what you're meant to do. Whereas everyone else almost tried to, I don't want to say everyone, it wasn't everyone. You have a lot of people supporting you, but whereas, a lot of people or certain influences and archetypes, because I don't want to frame this on people versus an archetype that any body can fit in. You're going to see them fall by the wayside. The same things that they stood on that seemed to be, foundational was really just on sinking sand the whole time. All right. Right now, we're going through the Gaia selection process. Mother Gaia is personally selecting all the people who are going to make it through this upcoming cataclysm. We just finished the apocalypse cycle from, of course, Saturn Capricorn to Saturn Pisces, and it's continuing through the formation of this new world order. The new world order is going to bring great cataclysms. If you've seen Fire Force, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And we're going to see who exists in this new world and who really dies with this old world. And it's through our habits, it's through our patterns, it's through the way we choose to integrate with society that we either adopt these expectations or we forsake them in alignment with who we truly are and who we're truly meant to be in this new world. Okay, so it's already happening. I'm going to be honest. If you're an earth sign, all earth signs have priority. Gaia loves her, the earth signs. All you Tauruses, Virgos, Capricorns, you guys have already been selected. I call it preferential treatment, but then again, you guys have a direct affinity to her. Earth moons, earth risings, you may be selected as well. And then all the other elements, good luck. You know what I'm saying? Even as air signs, like, just be mindful. If you know this, by the way, because you've been getting messages from the planet. Like everything that I'm saying, yeah, air signs are the zodiac crackheads, and then fire signs are like the zodiac cokeheads or meth heads. I don't know. But either way, And then water signs are the zodiac drunkards. They just stay lit off of alcohol. But that being that being said, you feel me? Um, the, I'm you're hearing this from me because you've already heard it first from the earth. You've already gained messages, unique synchronicity. Hold on, this is very important. The universe has given you at least three synchronicities that there is a major cataclysm that's going to be responsible for mass extinctions. And considering we had our last mass extinction coming out of 2019, I think towards the animal group, I'm not saying this to fearmonger because you're being selected to repopulate the new world, to step into the new earth. I want to once again remind you the last two times Pluto was in Aquarius, I think back towards the 1500s, we had the Protestant Revolution, which led to a lot of inquisitions, which led to a lot of people dying, not just isolated with that, but just, a natural cyclical thing. Then the last time Pluto was in Aquarius, we had colonialism. We had the death of entire tribe, like the genocide of entire tribes, just off of pestilence and disease alone. War, you know what I'm saying? Outright slavery. Okay. Pluto is back in Aquarius. So there is credence to see when Pluto comes in this sign, a lot of the population gets knocked off of that in preparation for a new cycle. Okay. Does it have to happen that way? No, ideally we'll all come together and make peace. But considering that even forces in the Middle East can't do that, we're destined to step into some type of global conflict. All right. You'd be surprised, bro. And if we do, you'll see them through certain people. But yeah, I'm not hoping that shit hits the fan. I'm saying you are already being selected ahead of time. The gifts, the talents, the techniques that you are, and this is whether we have FEMA camps or not, right? I think a lot of the conspiracy theories that have been prevailing for a lot of times, some that aren't theories anymore, there's going to be a brand new understanding of it. A lot of the limited understanding that came from just speculation and postulation is going to be exposed for that and replaced with actual real basis to adjust what's really happening. And I do want to open up in a deterministic way. A lot of what's occurring isn't really strictly from suits or elites. It's no human beings that are orchestrating what's happening. There's spiritual forces of wickedness in high places, principalities, thrones, like that Ephesians 6:12 verse plays in here, where a lot of this has been orchestrated since before maybe the idea of civilization was here, like a storybook, right? Some of you may take a more libertarianism, free will approach, and I'm at best can be compatibilist, where both are kind of real. So I don't want to necessarily give you any fatalistic interpretations, but just keep in mind the rest of Virgo season through this eclipse, you're going to come into a real understanding of why you are selected to bring this expertise into this new world, and how this isn't a division of a certain race of people who are meant to move forward or a certain type of religious group. It's going to be people from all works of life who now all have something to contribute to this next world order, where we have an idea of how it's headed, but there's all sorts of cataclysmic events and natural disasters that you can't really predict or account for that will really shape just nature's supremacy over our fictitious social constructs, basically. Okay. So, I mean, carry on business as usual, but I'm telling you this because basically when shit hits the fan, everyone's going to be running around like a chicken with their head off, and you're going to be calm as fuck. You're going to be just chilling like, oh, we were prepared for this. All right. And just keep that in mind. And we're going to come into, of course, we're going to do the first reading. Yes, I had to get that out the way because a lot of the influence that is crab in a bucket barrel mentality, trying to drag you down to their level and really kind of demoralize you to diminish the value of what you're doing. they're doing that because whether they're aware of it or not, they hate themselves. They're just taking it out on you. That with all this image that they put out there, it still doesn't give them the peace that you have with a fraction of what they have. So they have to make you feel like, oh, you don't even do enough to feel this level of confidence. Is like, tell them to suck your dick. The reason why it's ironic is most of those people will not make it into this new world. There are so many people who will not be alive in 20, 30 years. And that's vague to say. It's a huge population. And so many people die every day. It's obviously, right? But it's going to hit personal to you. A lot of people who are acting like they're going to be here during the next Saturn return cycle won't even make it past 10 years. Won't even make it past 5 years. People who you think influence culture and society, they're out of here. They're being phased out. As Saturn returns back to Pisces and goes into Aries, by the time we have that conjunction in April, from now until April, we're phasing out this old world. And that's why a lot of shit isn't phasing you, because you are never of this world. You're simply in it. All right. So represent. We're going to do this first reading. It ain't no fucking joke. And you're going to really kind of recognize a real practical basis around concepts that were really just ideas and beliefs. Okay. Once again, like, for example, I'm just using this as an example. Anybody can call me a con. Anybody can call me a scammer. Anybody can call me a fraud. Not a single one of these people can find a single person I scammed in over 10 years. And I can literally put $2,000-$3,000 on that. Not a single person. I worked for that. Nobody can take that away from me. And that's how I can use my own ethos to pretty much expose who really knows what they're talking about, who's really legit or not. That's a form of integrity. Integrity is power. All right. And just like I have that, don't ever let anybody tell you you don't have that, because they can't take your power away from you. So the best they can do is condition you to change your perception around it. And it's everything you have to stand confident for. Underlying theme we have for this first reading is the Fool, because let's go. This ain't a fucking game. You are taking that leap of faith. And I can't believe I didn't really see the Spider-Verse movie, but there was a great line in it where he's asking Peter Parker, when am I going to feel like I'm ready? And Peter Parker told him, you're never going to feel like you're ready. You will never feel like you're ready. It's always a leap of faith. It is always a leap of faith, which once again, that was a major, and it's something I'm still learning to accept. But the reason why I have this Peace Dealer channel is because I had to take a leap of faith. Okay. To be completely honest, I was in that period around 2012, 2014. Like, when will I know I'm ready to just go out there and share my gifts? Like, I wanted to just leave the house and just, be led by spirit and make it work. But I'm like, but how am I going to like take care of myself? How am I going to like get a consistent job? And the only reason why I have this channel is because I was put in a rock and a hard place. And I either had to delete this channel. Like, there's a timeline where I graduated from KU, or like right now I graduated from UNLV because I went back to college and everything. But there's a timeline where I never did astrology. You were not seeing me here, which some people will consider a better timeline because probably I would have a more stable job and I would look better to society in a world that looks at this as pseudoscience. Thankfully, I'm not that fucking stupid. So I had to choose, and I made sure to choose this timeline where I'm still doing this. Could I have done both? No, because I was in a position where I had to quit this. And because I stuck with this, I got kicked out. I had no money, no car, no home. The car that I was driving KU was leased. It wasn't really mine. So I only had myself. And when I tell you everything worked out for me, to even someone in Kansas who needed their car driven, an Aquarius woman on my North Node of Destiny who needed her car in Wichita driven to Venice Beach. And that's how I made it to Cali and made the videos that blew this up. I just needed that leap of faith in myself. I had no idea how I was going to make this work, but how Why is how mattering when we're focused on what? All right. Thank you. So, something to keep in mind. Allow people to share their bias, prejudice, opinions on it. They will never base it in reality. They can never demonstrate it. And because they can't manipulate you, and because you don't have self-esteem, low self-esteem to manipulate, they're just going to be frustrated and kind of reveal the weak, stupid little bitches they are. So the first reading we're doing here, the underlying theme is this is an unprecedented cycle. Uranus has not been in Gemini since America entered World War II. Neptune has not been in Aries since America's first Civil War. Allow people to show their true intentions. These were really, nation defining steps through these conflicts that led us to where we are today and shaped the relationships we have with our neighbors today. Why you even identify with who you are. Okay. So this unconventionality, when you study someone like Carl Jung and you look at Carl Jung's like amazing contributions to psychology and how much they impact deeply today. And he had Neptune and Pluto on his moon in Taurus and Sun Uranus. This is someone who was not respected really in his day. People called him lazy. He was writing stuff that had no practical application for its time. He didn't even put out works until he was 60. So like for those of you who keep lying to yourself, saying that, oh, I didn't achieve success at this time, so I didn't really make it. Like you need to stop making these excuses as to why you're not on track. You're everything you're going through isn't really a part of what you're meant to be doing. All right. So there's really no excuses. This is pushing you to form your behavioral patterns in unconventional ways that may go against the cultural norm and expectations that you are expected to fit into relative to your age, sex, or gender. All right. Some of you women may give in to the bullshit that if you're over 30, and I'm not saying this to tell you what you want to hear. If you're over 30, you're washed. Your time clock is up. You're no longer desirable because you're over a certain age, and all you're really seen as is just someone to give birth to children and to clean the house, right? Like when you go outside in reality, a lot of this internet bullshit doesn't really apply. But you have people who really believe this. Like you have people who believe that educated woman is an oxymoron, that a woman trying to pursue professional careers is a waste. You have people who eat this shit up. You have people who eat up that, all a man is good for is providing money. And if he can't really afford this or that, or if he can't necessarily outshow or out dick contest other men, like you just have these stupid expectations that don't really take into account who people are individually. And it's really up to you to believe that bullshit. We're going to look back on this as a very laughable period and a total joke that it always was, where you had people eat that shit up. Okay. So, if you're willing to look like a fool for that because you're venturing into living your life aligned with the personal sense of integrity that you can repeatedly demonstrate, the underlying theme is you're supposed to push boundaries. You're supposed to, of course, change the way people look at things. You're supposed to make people uncomfortable to that degree as well. Now, we do have the moon in Taurus, 6 of Pentacles. Looks like this is opening up financial flow. Okay, 6 of Pentacles is a main lesson as well. Will usually come up when maybe you might be being too prideful and pretend that you may not need assistance, like help is available to you. I see this mainly as you being able to set up philanthropic efforts yourself and to help people with your time, energy, and presence, not just money. Being able to loan resources out to people who might need it, being loaned resources if you need it. This is balancing the sense of inequality. And the challenge we have this with is also Virgo, the Knight of Pentacles. So we have Moon in Taurus and Virgo. The challenge of this Virgo season, not surprisingly, is to balance and make consistent your financials. So this is actually really beautiful, especially for those of you who may have struggle or challenges making consistent something unconventional, a leap of faith you are taking. Please understand there are avenues and routes for you. The challenge here with the Knight of Pentacles has and Giselle, that is beautiful. Unexpected money came to me a couple of days ago, right after you spoke. I love that. Thank you for mentioning that. Once again, the challenge with this Knight of Pentacles is staying reliable, staying consistent. It's not like the Knight of Wands that it moves wildly with passion and inspiration. The Knight of Pentacles might be boring to some, but they show up at the same time every day with that real. And it is practical and consistent enough to build step by step, which I think is literally a beautiful Virgo season message. And what was I going to? Oh, yes. Before I forget, for those of you who would like a live reading, please feel free, of course, to to join the queue. If you, of course, minimum, you'll see the instructions in the description box below for a card. For those of you who would like a card, when we finish this, feel free, join up, come through. Okay. Boom. So the foundation we have is the Three of Wands. You're seeing your ships come in, your long-term and short-term plans, which realistically kind of come through. And Giselle, thank you very much. I've always made a spell that people who support me and invest in me, they get their investment back multiple times. So it's like any dollar you've spent supporting me, you get back at least 3 times. I always kind of set that intention, and I'm so glad you were able to experience that. That was from the angels, my friend. That being said, okay, the Three of Wands is a really good foundation because this practicality and financial flow is being founded on the long and short-term plans you are committing to seeing through. So there is this enterprising nature where you are meeting set objectives. The challenge, of course, is to maintain consistency. We have the Queen of Swords, which coming from the past position is this determination and blocking out of distractions that get in the way of said goals. This could also represent a very powerful air sign woman or intellectual woman. But whether this woman is you, we can look at this as a mindset as far as the, of course, sharpness of intellect necessary to really step you towards this facet. And look at the crown, the sun. So the light is still shining. The Three of Wands is the sun in Aries. And then we also have the sun major here. So the light is still bright for you. Okay. The outlook of this all is success. There's still a lot for you to look towards. If we had the moon, you would be guided intuitively, but maybe there wouldn't be that clarity to see. We have that with the sun. So there's optimism that is still guiding you, which is necessary when you're taking these leaps of faith. And once again, you can allow people to say what they want. Their inability for that to stick and have to rely on a crowd with which they can echo what they're saying is an empty, hollow victory. It does not feed and nourish them. And where does that lead them? Back to you with a bitch ass. Now we do have the Two of Swords, which is the moon in Libra. You're welcome. Anything anyone has an issue with that you stand on, tell them that they're welcome. That's it. Tell them you're welcome. Okay. Oh my God, Marilyn, you're always like beefing with people. Marilyn, I'm gonna have to call you out here. Um, unless, yeah, I don't know why you calling people WLBs. This is crazy. That being said, oh, that's who you were talking about. Oh, that's who you called the hippopotamus. Okay, I see. I see. Yeah, Marilyn, you kind of controversial. You have all these videos like debating people on their channel. Um, yeah, I mean, remember who else we had before? She doesn't even show up anymore because of you. I'm gonna be completely honest. Do you guys remember her? She was the Sagittarius, the dream, the our dream goddess. Like, you kind of ran her out the chat, my friend. This is kind of interesting. So I just had to call that out. I mean, you kind of disruptive, Marilyn. It is what it is. She don't even show up. And yes, dreaming with Tess. Dreaming with Tess was a regular here until you know who started beefing with her. Now she don't even feel like coming through. This shit is crazy. And now you beefing with holistic integration. How wild do you have to be to beef with holistic integration? Who is she, like, even her? This shit is amazing. Oh my God, that's crazy. Hey, you know I fucks with you. I gotta call you out. This is ridiculous. Yo, okay. All right. I'm not gonna say it's cool though. It's cool though. Um, that being said, we do have the judgment card. The judgment card coming up for you means you're awakening. You're coming into yes, Libras be wild and love y'all though. Yes, Libra knows how to start drama and look like the victim. Like, Pisces will play victim, but Libra knows how to look like the hero. Like, I was just settling this. Like, no, from Gemini to Libra, we see you. Like, we know what you're doing. Like, it's cool. It's cool. But that being said, she said she was being watched and stuff. Yes, I will say Dreaming with Tess did kind of have that paranoia that did also get away. So I don't want to blame it all on Marilyn. That was happening before Marilyn was a thing. So, like, it is what it is. But Marilyn kind of just lit the fuse in the keg and just, it is what it is. We fucks with you though. Judgment is also you carrying forth this judgment call. So you're of course answering the call, but with you now being purified, with you kind of awakening more to who you're meant to be and what you're meant to be, coming into these synchronicities. What this is opening up for you is the ability to reflect that. And we do have the King of Wands, speaking of this entrepreneurial nature, being in control and mastering of your passions. This could be someone in your corner. Jasmine, thank you. I got your Cash App. This could be someone in your corner who is mirroring this as well, who is putting you in a position to experience and to push you and to guide you. But this could also be how you're perceived. Now, the guidance here is to not back the fuck down. Classic Mars and Leo, even though it's in Libra right now, do not necessarily or realistically fall for the bullshit. You have the advantage. The guidance here is knowing you have the advantage. Once again, people may want to, this is the defending champion, to defend what it is you've worked to build. The Seven of Wands is saying, do not concede, like Trump in 2020. All right, regardless of what they said, whether he was right or wrong, I'm not trying to make this political. It's just he didn't. This is really the nature of this. Don't back down, regardless of who you are, regardless of what side you're on. Don't back down. Chances are you have the advantage here. That's why you're shown on the higher ground, and you're dealing with people who don't have all the insight you have. They're looking from the outside, looking in. They want you to conform. They want you to conform. Okay. What's the deck it's eating? The really badly drawn tarot. Okay. And the outcome that we have here is the Page of Wands. Look forward to receiving exciting news. And I kind of like this turn into the wands because I think what this does is it reminds you that we're still just barely getting started here. And this is going to put you in a position to enjoy what you have defended and not letting others dictate how it is you're going to push forward. And now, relative to taking this leap of faith, you know, really being excited relative to how your plans are developing. And you can once again look forward to receiving exciting news. Now, the Two of Swords is talking about perhaps not exposing or revealing certain news. And as a next step, it's going to require putting your mind over your heart and not making too emotionally ruled decisions, not being impulsed to act strictly off on how you feel, but to put some thought around it before you really do this. Oh my God. And what I also pick up is really keeping hush hush, not really sharing what's happening to you. I think in an effort to not reveal too much information to people who should know it realistically. So that's what we got for the first reading. Okay. We're going to step into the second reading. Let's actually just go straight into career and life purpose. Yeah. Beings like Trump, Kanye West, Charlie Clips, Anne Hathaway, even Kim Kardashian, 50 Cent. They are all spirit god constructs. They have their sun on Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter, Juno, Neptune, even Carl Jung. Like, these people were born with a spirit connection to a ruler or to a god, right? A god construct. I don't say God in like the one true God religious way. I say God as in Lord, as in carrying responsibility and jurisdiction. All right. So yeah, he really is a God in his reality. This is why he was destined to win again 2024. And then there's the moon counterpart, the vessels, the people who have these facets on their moon. Young Thug is actually a great example. He's a sun Jupiter, but he's also a moon Pluto. So that's a specific type of God construct. So yeah, Leo, Jupiter, Leo finna be flames. For someone like Young Thug, I know his name is coming up in the news a lot today. Jupiter Leo is his revival point. Like, once he has his Jupiter return, he's in a position where he can relaunch himself. And this is where, when Jupiter is in the 12th, shut the fuck up and stay out the way. Stop trying to like allow the cycle to release and reveal, be willing to, and I'm, this is for any Jupiter Leo, whether you're born in 91, which is when it was there, or after or before, like, allow this new cycle to take its place. Stop trying to kind of control things, because it will really just backfire against you. That being said, we're going to step into the next reading. So this one, we're going to look into how it is you're going to be shaping your career outlook. And shout out to those of y'all on Instagram. Suck my D to the tune of Ring My Bell. Ooh, evolving and free. I like that. Won't you ring my bell? Ring my bell. I think that's how it goes. Walking in this bitch like Soldier Boy. Yeah. Hop up out the bed, turn my swag on. I remember when that song dropped. I was like I thought you had to be the purist, right? I was all like, oh, that's not hip hop enough. That's not lyrical enough. Soldier Boy is ruining hip hop. I didn't realize I was just a dusty little hater back then. And he had dropped one of the greatest songs in hip hop history. Hop up out the bed, turn my swag on. Then I look at the mirror, say, what's up? Yeah, I'm getting money. See, I was just a bum. I was hating. I wasn't getting money like that. It's cool. I'm not even being sarcastic. Like, I kind of look back at how I could have just missed the opportunity there. You know what I'm saying? Pretty boy swag. Pretty boy swag. Like, we hated on that song. Don't worry, you did too. Don't act like it was just me. We hated on that song. And if some of you didn't, let you know. And I just hate the fact that we didn't recognize brilliance back in the day. I didn't even know how to turn my swag on back then. Exactly. And he was out here I hate the fact that I was hating on that shit, not knowing that was literally fire. I'm glad I can appreciate it now. But we were just too serious back then. Everything had to. I was trying to be a lyrical miracle back then too. So I wasn't receptive to such brilliance. People simply did not have swag. Exactly. And when I was hating on that, I did not really have swag at all. I can say that confidently. That's the only reason why I would hate such a goated song. Listen, Chris, I get it. I understand. That song comes out now. I'm singing every fucking word. Like, it is what it is. It's one of the best songs I've ever heard in my entire life. And I deeply hate that I at some point hated on that song because I just didn't get the vision. It's cool. It is what it is. Okay. Pretty boy coming through. It's all good. You don't have to get it. You don't have to get it. I promise you, I'm not being sarcastic. I actually mean every word that I'm saying. Like, I don't know why. I try to be the lyrical miracle, so I just didn't see the vision. The next reading we are going to do, we do have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is success in business. The Queen of Wands is this exuberance and boldness, all right? Like a young Aries woman who's just getting all the clients. I just caught up on the drama, okay? So the underlying theme, especially when aligning with the Fool, is this isn't quiet, humble. It's not bragging, but it's not quiet, humble. Yeah, I got my successes. We out here. Yeah, we in here. We out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I made that happen. You're not bragging though. You're being this light of inspiration with, people love the Queen of Wands. They love to see her win. She got her cat. Shout out to Mozzie. All those dope ass thumbnails you've been seeing, that's my man's right here. Shout out to my dude right here, my bro. All right, we out here. Queen of Wands, I think, is going to really, as an underlying theme, really challenge how much more confident you sit in this success. For some of my males watching this is going to be a prominent female figure and literal queen who I think is going to also help, assist in how you step into this success. All right, something to keep in mind. So, of course, we do have the Sun. Now, this is the crown in the other reading. The Sun is saying major success is imminent. The whole theme of career for you is happiness, joy, and success in all areas of life. What if you're gay? This can still be a girlfriend. This can still be a woman who's really fucking with you, right? This can even, regardless of if you're male or female, this is going to be qualities within yourself that echo this success in business. But whether you're straight, whether you're gay, this could once again be like a prominent, powerful, confident woman who's in your corner. Okay. So that being said, the Sun card is very significant, and she got that cat. Trust. Oh my God. Trust. So the Sun card is talking about happiness. It's not even necessarily talking about realistically like, oh, how can I be more happy in my career? No, this is you succeeding. The events that you're going to really push through are going to enable you a lot more joy. You're going to have a lot more of that to move around. And, it's going to put you in a position to see the fruits of your labor. Especially the first reading, the challenge we had was the Knight of Pentacles. And I mentioned the Knight of Wands. How ironic. We have the Knight of Wands here too. The challenge of this is to take this inspiration and to move with it. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Big Jupiter's mom. All right. We appreciate you for bringing her into this world. And yes, God bless you. Now we do see the Knight of Wands and the Sun card here. It's not enough to feel this inspiration. The Knight of Wands is about movement. It's a message. The Knight of Pentacles wants you to handle things practically and consistently. The Knight of Wands wants you to go on a short road trip. It wants you to move around. It wants you to actually do stuff with this passion, gain greater inspiration. The challenge will be, of course, maneuvering through that. And the foundation we have is the Nine of Cups. So once again, this isn't about how can I gain more happiness in my life. This is you coming into happiness you've worked the past 6 months for, as you've already had it through, and you're feeling your wishes come true. The Nine of Cups is where we warn against smugness and bragging. Look at this person, like, yeah, I got it. So this is really beautiful, because this is resting upon your satisfaction and you coming into a whole lot of that. Okay. Is that the dude that always be cussing? Are you sure you're not talking about Dolo, the pilot man? I don't know. I've been cussing as of late too. So I guess I could really wind that down. But that being said, for sure, we have the Hangman. The Hangman, coming in the same place we had as the Queen of Swords, is talking about the surrender that was necessary to put yourself in this position. You're moving forward, of course, had to release. Tyler be the one cussing, yeah, for sure, Aries. The Hangman was really, your willingness to release that which didn't serve you. You've changed your perspective by not forcing situations. So you accepted that you don't know what you don't know, and you didn't go out of your way to try and control the future. You didn't try and do too much, right? And this allowed you to change your perspective, which I think is putting you into, of course, this position to see this joy that was always there and prevalent, to see this to sit in this satisfaction. And the crown that we have is the Eight of Cups, which is a stark contrast from the Sun that we had in the previous reading. So the Eight of Cups puts you in a position and outlook to once again walk away from what you're ready to leave. The Eight of Cups looks somewhat solemn, but it could also represent your work is done in a specific place. And that's why this is significant, because what comes after the 8, the 9? You have to walk away from the illusions and the emotional investments through this spiritual seeking to gain said satisfaction in the 10 of emotional fulfillment. So the 8 of Cups as an outlook, even though we still have the Sun card, because of the element of the Sun here, it's not looking like disappointment as far as my work here is done. That's why with the challenge of the Knight of Wands, you may be called to move. Like the challenge might be, okay, it's time to take these talents to South Beach. Or it's like, it's time to move to where, not even like where you're tolerated, where the next step is for you. And this journey could be metaphorical. It could be a spiritual internal journey where you're having to really find new concepts, or it could be physical. You could actually be, of course, moving, walking away. All right. And past the Hangman, you've already surrendered. So what's the next step? We do have the Wheel of Fortune, baby. Price is Right. All right. So this is evolution. This is coming into winning the lottery. So you're going to feel like you hit the jackpot. And that's why this is beautiful as you are sitting in satisfaction. This is the Wheels of Fortune. There's no one that's more vindictive and dangerous than Lady Fortuna, because you could be out of your luck and win it all and have more fortune than you've ever experienced. And just like that, she takes it all away from you. You lose it all. Fortuna is entirely fickle. It's not really, you know what I'm saying? So this is changing your fortune. Now, because the main lesson of this is the Sun and you're sitting in satisfaction, the next step here is you changing your fortune for the better. And why is this important, guys? Because the first main reading, we got the Two of Swords. Keep it hush, hush. Let people think you're broke And nobody wants you, fam, because I want you to research people who have won the lottery and it has ruined their life because there are all sorts of people looking out for handouts, right? And acting as if they're entitled. This is going to be for what you have. This is going to be especially frustrating for those of you who people didn't believe in what you were working on. People, you knew that what you are creating would build this fortune for you, but people try to act like it's a waste of time. They didn't show any support. And now when it bears all this fruit and you come into all this success, they're entitled with their hands out to gain some of this. Let those people think you're broke. Let those people think, oh yeah, my little business is doing whatever. It's cool. That's knowledge is a privilege. You're not some loser that has to flaunt their riches on social media so that random people can know when to rob them or so that they can look cool. You know that it's a privilege to bring people into the fold to know what it is you're really rocking with versus what you let the rest of the people see. And I'm seeing this as a major lesson. Now, here's the thing, as the outlook, in order to come into this fortune, what are you willing to walk away from? What have you surrendered, right? What are you willing to branch out as far as this passion, which may require you to, even if it's not outside of your city or town, to shift the space you're in, okay? Because this fortune is going to feel like you hit the Powerball. All right, and shout out to Forest Fairy Tarot. Okay. Now, who are you showing up as in this career reading? We got the Two of Cups. So there's this element of nurturing and partnership. That's Venus in Cancer, baby. Yeah, that's Venus in Cancer. Don't ask me why I just did that. I just felt inspired to do that. I don't know where that came from. But like, yes. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. All right. What it do? I just uploaded it too. Blah, 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 blah. Got that new magic message out. What did you think? You think we hit it out? What does it do? You think I'm here for you? I'm just, yeah. Okay, so that being said, I'm just saying whatever at this point. Two of Cups is suggesting some of you are within a committed soulmate relationship you may not even know you're in. So figure that out, because this is definitely getting ready to change the way you share this nurturing. Whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship, Two of Cups is snitching on you guys. I think maybe there's certain things you think that are just in your head that aren't really just in your head. I think maybe there's certain connections budding around you you may be completely clueless about, because this Two of Cups is legitimately snitching on you, and it is legitimately... Wait a minute. What did I just do? Oops. Okay, cool. And it is legitimately showing that you realistically, even if it's to a facet within yourself, like there's this love and trust you're going through. You seem to be absorbed in it, and could also be what comes with this fortune. So something to keep in mind, because what's around you, we do have the Page of Swords. So you have nosy ass people looking into your relationship, and people have this idea of thinking that your relationship is their business. But the desperation is real. Like, you have, like, it's different if you're talking about it because it came up in the news and you have your opinion about it. You have people doing research, snooping, trying to find dates. Oh, when did you get together? How do you know this person? Lame ass shit. Now, I'm sorry. Lame duck stuff. Let me actually not curse as much, because I don't have to do that. This is definitely speaking, though, of, people trying to get in your business. The Page of Swords is like a government agent in spy. It's someone who works for an organization or representation. It could be independent research. But do you notice that? Like, this is literally reading itself, and it looks desperate. I'm not going to lie. People want to mind everyone's business but their own. And look at this. Look at this. Officially form my biz with my dream biz partner. Let's go, Lolo. Let's go, Lolo. But like, yes, Holistic, do not claim the femcel. I'm telling, unless that's your thing, right? Don't claim that. I'm just saying. I know you're just joking though, but yes, this is weird. This is weird. This is really weird. I don't know why these people feel entitled to like snooping. You guys look unbothered. I don't know why people feel entitled to do that. But like, hey, it is what it is. Okay. So the guidance that we have is the Two of Pentacles. Remember, this is a career reading. So the Two of Pentacles is saying, keep trusting your instincts. Two of Pentacles in a career reading after the Ace of Pentacles of a new income stream is talking about having multiple income streams, juggling multiple balls. Yes, no pause. Juggling multiple balls with your hands. All right. And if one ball drops, you keep juggling the balls. You keep juggling the balls. Okay. Don't drop the ball. Keep focusing on your different income streams. It's literally actively telling you, invest in new income streams. Focus on what it is you're working on. The Two of Pentacles knows how to make a hobby very fun and turn it into work. So your hands-on approach, the thing with the Two of Pentacles is that your hands-on approach is this success. The moment you just let it go and drop it, it's going to stop. It's not like the Ten of Pentacles of passive income. You have to keep, the more hands-on you are with it, the more you're multiplying your income. And it doesn't matter if it looks slow or small, as much as you just keep that consistency. All right. Holistic integration, that's up to you. I'm not going to tell you how to do that. Whatever works for you. Two of Pentacles is saying to hustle and grind. I do not believe in hustle culture, but I do believe in grinding and hustling for what you put value into and not giving any excuses for why you can't. This is all you. All right. Two of Pentacles is going to enable you to really work that. This is beautiful. Look at you jugging and finessing. And the outcome without having to scam people. And the outcome that we have is, ooh, I know that means, okay. The Page of Pentacles is receiving money when you least expect it, but it's also reinvention of how it is you make money, come into value. So why do I like this reading? We have congruence. We had the Page of Wands as the outcome for the previous reading. And now we have the Page of Pentacles as the outcome for this reading. So the whole notion of pages brings this sense of newness and youth. We had two knights as the challenge, and we have two pages as the outcome. This definitely looks like a career reading. And this is all founded on you getting what you want, shifting your fortune, and reinventing yourself. Okay. And this is where practicing the law of assumption will really go a long way in surrendering to it, right? We do got to boss up, but you're going to also understand you have hidden wealth. You have latent equity, right? And I think that's what some of you may not be tapping into. Remember when I gave you two examples and receipts of how I received $400 and $700 when I simply just said money flows to me naturally and easily. This is money that I had for years and I didn't even know I had. You have latent equity. Like you have worth and value you've never claimed. You couldn't even possibly think or remember belongs to you. And I was using that as an example to show you how wealth could be hidden to you. And it doesn't mean that it has to be some account you forgot about. It can show up in any form. And if you're listening to people who can leverage this lack of self-esteem and manipulate you with their worldview to think that, no, you have to do it like this or that, they're not you. So, and they don't know you like they wish they did. So just continue to demonstrate that. So this is beautiful. There's exciting news and there's exciting stability coming through as well. It was already yours before you even asked. So just ask and like from the statement done. The Bible verse of the day I had was Matthew 7:7. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door should be open. So I feel like that's a good message for some of you who, relative to the first reading, might be too afraid to ask for guidance, for support, for assistance, or are in a position to give it towards others. It's giving and receiving. All right. That being said, y'all, we're going to do the last reading. Let's close this out. And I'm also doing, once again, live readings. Jasmine I did get your Cash App. You did send me 30, I think, for astrology. I'm only doing tarot, but I can read your astrology. The live readings I'm doing are only for tarot. So please click the description box below. Jasmine, if you want tarot, let me know. Otherwise, I'll read your chart. I see you gave me your sun, moon, and rising, and I'll pull a card for you. But just keep that in mind. I just want to pull tarot cards for people. So last but not least, we are going to Lux Vibes. Yes, I got you. We are going to, of course, oof. Okay, cool. Let's look into relationships. Minimum $10. So click the description box below and you will. Did I put that in there? I guess I didn't put that in yet. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. Jasmine, I apologize. I didn't even update that. It says transit interpretation. So let me put tarot card draw. I'm going to pull 3 cards for you, and I'm still going to look at the chart since you did go based off of that. So I just updated it and refreshed it. That should say $10 minimum tarot card draw. And feel free to join the queue. Yes. Can I do a superheat for a card? I'm not sure what a superheat. If you mean super chat, absolutely. I do PayPal, super chat, Cash App, Venmo. I just said ask, believe, receive at the same time. That's beautiful. So let's see what's up with your love life. Venus is in Leo right now. It's opposite Pluto. So it's now breaking through its subsequent activation back in January. Mercury has just entered Virgo. It's squaring Uranus. It's quincunxing Pluto. So your brain is going to start to crunch numbers and put you in a position to analyze a lot more critically how all this is unfolding for you. So let's see what we got for this final reading. Underlying theme we have is the Ace of Swords. So when it comes to relationships, please, this is not just romance. This could be platonic as well. We're just going to theme this around relationships. But for those of you who want the romantic insight, that's it too. Ace of Swords means whole new line of communication, right? Ace of Swords means whatever you were talking about before with others, we're stepping into a new paradigm. This is putting you in a position to realistically, as an underlying theme, not hold your tongue. So the era, the idea, the nature of holding your tongue, because you don't want to freak out who you're talking to. You don't want to weird them out. You have no business being with that person in that context. Like if you're not really willing, the Ace of Swords in a love read is so cool because it's connecting with someone who you can say all this crazy shit with. It's a new line of communication, especially if there's been no contact or if you've been wanting to talk to someone. Ace of Swords is a new cycle of enlightened clarity and communication, which is relevant because Mercury will catch up to the sun, I believe, during Virgo season. Yeah, the sun is just 10 degrees Virgo. So that's going to really kick in this epiphany, like opposite the North Node in Pisces, going through the South Node in Virgo. And it's going to revisit your integration of a lot of concepts you're more courageous, really standing on and speaking about. So yeah, the Ace of Swords is not holding back, saying everything that's on your mind, saying what you think and love about someone, even the harebrained ideas that you will be surprised they may have their own connection with too. All right. Ace of Swords, the whole truth is coming out here. Now, the main lesson we have with this is once again the Seven of Wands. So for some of you, this is persistence. Seven of Wands will come up in a love reading when you have to be persistent. You don't want to stalk this person. You don't want to bother this person. You want to be consistently persistent, which doesn't look like chasing either, but not really backing down when opportunities show themselves, right? With someone who has clearly, anyone who says no, they're not interested, no means no, right? But you know, things where no hasn't been stated, there still is a yes, but you just need to be persistent to go through what's happening. What I'm picking up with this though is you not backing down. And happy birthday, Marie. Happy birthday. This is talking about not backing down. So I'm going to say this in the context of those of you already in a partnership, already talking to somebody, already coming into someone, and you have people in your ear like, you shouldn't be with him or her. You shouldn't entertain this. You shouldn't do that. And you're letting them know to get off your D immediately. Like, just like, nobody asked you. Your one question is, who asked you? All right. May I please have a card for this epic note? Yes, I got you, Bonnie Jean. No problem. All right. So the 7 of Wands is the defending championship for you. If you think not John Tucker Must Die, but Scott Pilgrim versus the World, where he got a girlfriend and he had to be the defending champion against her exes, right? That's another thing for the 7 of Wands. You are defending your position for the people who want to take your spot. So really, this is talking about not conceding, not conforming, not backing down. And yep. I'm sorry, it's hilarious. Look, for some of you, and I got you, Giselle, for some of you, right, this is you defending your spot to be with the queen. Like, the whole challenge of the Queen of Wands is, you know, keeping this queen, to be completely honest. For some of the men watching, that's literally it. It's like, you got with this queen. People want your spot, bro. People want your spot very powerfully. So it's something to keep in mind. Oh, beautiful. I got you. So, okay. Compete for this harem, boy. She had 7 evil. I'm glad you peeped, bro. She has 7 evil exes too. And I think this is 6 plus that 7. So, like, yeah. The Queen of Wands is also really just enjoying your connection, having the confidence and boldness. For you ladies as well, it's you also maintaining this exuberance and not letting people, like, right? But clearly you can see what this is. I'm gonna just be honest. Clearly you can see what this is. The Ace of Swords is the victory in truth both of you share. And look at her. She's smiling. She's using this man to brag and flex on her ops. And he not letting anybody even, you know, take his spot. Take his spot. I know that queen sounds toxic, but she lit. She knows her position. She knows how she's maneuvering and finessing the situation. And it works out. It works out. Now, the underlying theme we have is the sun. This is built on happiness. So far, the sun has come up in all 3 readings. It was the crown at first, the major lesson, and now the foundation, where we also had the 9 of Cups and the 3 of Wands. Okay. So the Sun card is talking about there being happiness being a central theme when it comes to these partnerships, these relationships, even in a platonic setting. The Queen of Wands could represent just this festive exuberance, confidence, and excitement that you're not really going to compromise to lose. Now, we do have the Hierophant. It looks like what's being built is being built off of values and some commitment and tradition. For some of you, this could be a recent marriage or a recent commitment to a long-term partnership. The Hierophant is aligning with the status quo that I think is very interesting to even see looking the way it does. Look at where this is looking at, right? Look at the sun here, right? Yeah, this deck is amazing. That being said, the outlook we have, the crown is the Tower. So the Tower card is definitely talking about unexpected upheaval and things perhaps instantly shifting in this way. Oh my God. And putting you in a position to adapt to how that really expresses itself, what really comes with that. The sun coming out in all 3 reads speaks of the earth's frequency changing for the good, as this whole Virgo season is defining your lifestyle for the next 10, 20 years. And that's what it's meant to shape your beliefs around. So yeah, We did have the Sun card in the previous reading, and we did also have, what was it? The Eight of Cups. So yeah, look for things to instant enlightenment to kind of be brought through. Now, the next step we have is the Four of Wands. This is Venus and Aries. So guys, yeah, this is celebration. Some of you guys are going to be moving in with a partner. Some of you guys are going to be strengthening your connection with a partner or with somebody else. And I would say the Tower is an STD, but because the next step is celebration, you wouldn't catch an STD and throw a party. Like, I caught crabs from my partner, right? Like, this is perhaps a relationship that comes together instantly. So a lot of people might be telling you, slow your roll because you're just marrying someone or you're just jumping into a relationship with somebody, but it's based on the light, this light of consciousness and happiness. And the challenge is to just maintain this vibrancy because we do have both of these celebration cards. The next step is celebration. You throwing a party, flight at first sight. This is beautiful, guys. Look at this. And remember, we had the Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Swords here. So it's like a private wedding. It's like a private connection. This doesn't have to even be a wedding for some of you. So you just be like a celebration, a connection. It is a union. Now you're showing up as the Three of Cups. Once again, we have this festivity. So you're with your friends. You know what I'm saying? You're with people who support what you're doing. And this doesn't have to be in the context of a union. This could really just be that. Don't mind two cards. Yes, I was about to say. So you did okay because I did see both. So I'll pull a bonus one for you too. So you'll get three. I totally got you. So yeah, I think that's beautiful. Superheat and the Three of Cups is. You remember we had this with the Two of Cups, and then this also showed in the first reading as I forgot what you showed up as in the first reading. But yeah. I think that's very beautiful. The King of Wands. What's that? Yeah. Anyway, what's around you? Once we pulled the Tower, I was looking for the Star. So you have this like dream coming true anyway. You have this rejuvenation, restoring your faith in relationships, love. The Tower card is saying that regardless how unexpected this is, the Star of Healing is around you. Like it's going to really fall into its place for your favor. The Star is giving this otherworldly supernatural presence around this celebration. It almost add this sense of fatedness and divinity. And you are also being seen as recognized, as famous, as notorietable. Yes, I made that word. Notorietable. I'm using that word moving forward. But like gaining recognition, gaining notoriety, I think who you're connecting with may be famous as well. And I think that could throw people off, right? I think there could be the pressure of, can I live up to the expectations of these people when you're going to realize none of that fucking matters. Like, you really just want to defend this position, protect what it is you have. Trust me, there are going to be people trying to snoop in, as we saw in the romance reading. Elisha, you never know. You would go slide in those DMs. Oh, you already did. No, I was joking. That being said, okay, the guidance that we have. Oh my God. Okay, so we have 10 of Swords is saying prepare to be mind blown. Okay. All of this is really cool and all, but you are at the end of a difficult situation. Your previous thought process, it does not apply moving forward. There's something definitively ending and dying. It's not like the Death card that's a transformation. The guidance is it's time to wrap up old thinking patterns, because the whole underlying theme is this is going to inspire a new thought. And I think it's important to talk about. There's certain things that you personally may have entertained because it was true for you. Like, oh, it's hard for me to find the right people. It's hard for me to be with someone who understands me for me. And like with the Tower, all of those previous assumptions are being proven false. Like a certain negative way of thinking and approaching things, uh, a difficult situation that molded this, the guidance is to let that die, because the underlying theme is moving forward with a new way of thinking, new thoughts. We had the Fool here. I forgot what we had the other time. Now, the Ten of Swords could mean maybe a sacrifice or an offering. The Ten of Swords could also mean maybe someone has to die, and you sacrifice their soul in order to enjoy this festiveness. Okay. Ten of Swords could mean maybe some of you had to catch a body because they tried. I'm just saying anything at this point, but I see this as, you know what I'm saying? You're going to, those negative thoughts are going to creep up, and you're going to realize they have no place here. Like, it doesn't apply anymore. And the outcome we have is the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the Knight of Pentacles, once again, is seen as a boring card, but it is a blessing in a romance reading, because the Knight of Pentacles as an outcome is that boring consistency that lets you know a relationship is going to last the test of time. There's not any unnecessary drama. There's not any kind of like negative, horrible news. It's stable. It's a stable, consistent, reliable connection. Okay, it's good to get with the 10 of Cups and the 4 of Wands, which I think is beautiful. And I think a huge message and challenge of this Virgo season. So, you know, this is what is kind of kicking off somewhat unexpectedly and very powerfully will be stabilized. The thing you need to be concerned with is there is not only great celebration coming here with your friends, but there's stability. Okay. And it's like, for some of you, people won't know what you've gone through to reach this. All right. Which is beautiful. They don't know how you might have been literally stabbed in the back in order to still come out on top. Okay. So guys, what did you think about these readings? Honestly, this was a lot brighter than I was expecting for Virgo season. I was kind of prepared for some bad news, right? I mean, I was staying optimistic, but I was prepared for it. Turns out this eclipse is really going to open up so much positively. And it doesn't mean that, you know, we can just rest on that. The whole thing is to stay consistent, right? People can call you delusional for what you believe in practice. They can never demonstrate it. They will never be in a position to prove it. They're resting on beliefs, and they're mad that you threaten their belief systems and everything they believe in, because they're stupid, weak little bees. And they'll never be anything outside of that until they stop seeing you as less than you are, which they have to do as a defense mechanism because they're weak. And it doesn't help that they're stupid too. Like, how are you stupid and weak? Like, choose one. Anyway, that being said, we're going to do, first of all, I'm going to pull a bonus card for everybody. We getting paid what we owed. I love that too. And a lot of you are recognizing that, you know, a lot of you are above even needing money or working for money. The wealthiest people don't even work. You feel me? Like, you're creating your own value system that may, if anything, transcend you from out of these dynamics before people recognize what it looks like. Yep, 3 of Cups. It's time to celebrate. It's time to celebrate. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. I'm literally hearing that song. Staying alive. And this is a party that don't stop. So y'all have the strength to actually keep this up all season. And I love that. And I love that. And I love that. I love that. All right. So first we have Jasmine. Jasmine, we see you have Sun in Cancer, Moon in Leo, rising in Sagittarius. And as a Sagittarius rising, Virgo is your 10th house of career success and goals. As a Cancer sun, Virgo is 60 degrees from this sun position, making a 90-degree integration through Libra of mindset and attitude. So you are changing your mindset around the success you are practically achieving. And it is being used as a resource to change where you believe you should rest your home foundation, and how this opens up who you achieve this success with. Now, of course, as a Sag rising, Jupiter is transforming these boundaries with other people, and Uranus is innovating it. So the Devil card is you, of course, weeding out who tries to control you, and of course, any toxic influences that are around you as a result. And we do have the King of Wands, King of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. So this could also represent someone who's both passionate and compassionate. This could represent your own masculine mastery of these facets. But whether it's tied to a male figure or not, there is passive income. This is Mercury in Virgo, and Mercury just entered Virgo. This is passive income, massive wealth, and I think really good as far as family and tradition if the wealth is coming down there like through an inheritance. So I think you have that to look forward to, and congratulations in advance. Now we have, of course, Fatima for the solar return. Let's see what we got for you, and happy solar return. All right, congratulations. The underlying theme that we have is, of course, the Knight of Wands, Sagittarius, but really fire, moving around. This is a great time to go on a short road trip. You're going to be gaining so much more inspiration, especially through the solar return. It requires movement to not just have all this energy and just let it go stagnant. You're already kind of inspired. You're going to really share this inspiration. You're going to get this message of inspiration. This could even be a knight who represents this. We got the World for you, and we got the Page of Cups. So you're falling in love with falling in love again. The Page of Cups are new feelings, but the main card we have here for your solar return is completion. Your entire life journey up into this point has brought you to this place where you can afford this success and wholeness. And I think that's what's going to open up new feelings around, of course, what you can do with it. And I see this as people starting to really develop feelings for you, seeing you as a success story, coming into now falling in love all over again is what I'm picking up. It's like now that it's a full circle moment that almost has you even fall in love with what you originally fell in love with as well, and renew this inspiration, passion. But with the World card, beautiful, right? Mashika, Aqua Rising, we got a High Queen as a Sun in Gemini. All right, so you are the ascended angelic being like Bill Burr and President Trump and Lauryn Hill. Now, as a rising Aqua, this Virgo season is going to be transforming your boundaries with others. Saturn retrograding back in your second in Pisces, having you maintain value over everything you believe you're worth. So now in Virgo season, you're expressing these beliefs towards how you invest in the right spaces to prepare you for, of course, Libra and Scorpio season, where you will complete the transit. And as a Gemini sun, you are situating your comfort zone relative to these boundaries. Underlying theme we have is the Magician, because of, as always, you have all the tools and you have all the resources that it is that you need. And of course, your skillfulness and resourcefulness will see you get ahead. And we have this with the Four of Cups, Moon in Cancer, and the Ten of Wands. You're contemplating your emotions and you're making sure you're not carrying too much of a burden on your back, especially as an Aqua rising with Pluto going through your rising. If you have Saturn and Sag, you were probably born 86 or 87, maybe part of 85. But we do have the Four of Cups here as well. I think you're reevaluating whether all this extra responsibility is worth it and who you might need to delegate a lot of this burden towards. The Magician is saying you're going to achieve and success through this. Just do not procrastinate. It's a lot of burden, but you will get through the work. The Ten of Wands urges you to delegate responsibility and to not let people pile up their issues on you. But this is going to really allow what needs to rise up for you to deal with so that you can work to change your perspective around how to deal with these current challenges and issues, which are only going to make you so much stronger. Next, we have Ashley, Aqua Sun, Cancer rising and Moon. So as a Cancer rising, Virgo is in your third house. And as an aqua sun, it's making a 150 to a 180 degree angle. That's not true. It's making a 210 to 240 degree angle coming into Libra season. So your awareness of transforming this knowledge relative to who you're dealing with and how the factual basis of these relationships change your knowledge of self relative to how you're putting yourself out there. Cancer rising is changing your mindset about these dynamics and what abilities and how it is you interface your dealings with others as well, especially with Jupiter going through your rising and you're going through a brand new cycle of evolution since 2012, 2013, really. And congratulations, this is the next version of you, and this is going to continue to evolve you and others through you. We got the Eight of Pentacles, which is saying to keep up the good work you're doing. This is a card of employment and meaningful work. So if you're looking for it, it's already yours, Sun in Virgo. If you're already working it, keep up the value. This is so imperative. It's saying the work you're doing is quality. Just keep up that consistency and quality. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Now we do have the Four of Cups again, and this is coming with death this time. So you're transforming old feelings and thoughts, especially now with the Four of Cups. You might just feel unenthused. Like you might be turning down opportunities. There could be certain things you're just not really impressed about. Be careful about turning down opportunities, maybe because you're not feeling them. But this is going to lead into major transformation, especially because as an aqua sun, Virgo is this Scorpio signature of transformation for you. And it's going to be transforming your mindset through dealing with others. And the Four of Cups, as you sort through your emotions, will enable new opportunities to come through because you're allowing your own feelings to guide you. Well, not to guide you, you're listening to them. This involves doing nothing. And that's why it's such a boring card, because you're just uninterested. The reverse is going to be new interests, but this is necessary to just allow what needs to come to the surface to come through, knowing that you're headed towards major transformation that's going to change the way you approach literally everything. Okay. And next we have Maria. Leo sun, Taurus moon. As a Pisces rising, Saturn is retrograding back into your divine embodiment, and you are unlocking the divine nature of your being. Hence, Virgo season is bringing all the relevant partnerships over the next 6 months to honor the last 6 months. Who you believed you need to be to support the partnerships you want. Now you're aware of these partnerships and how that's going to change your belief in yourself as you break through these partnerships. So as a Leo sun, your awareness of these partnerships directly add value to you, because Virgo is 30 to 60 degrees from your Leo sun. And you got the exalted soul and the spiritual dignity with the Leo sun, very powerful placements. So this is really showing you what partnerships you're unlocking that add worth and wealth to you that you can really step more into, if that makes sense. Okay. Born 88. Thank you for letting me know. So you definitely have Saturn Capricorn like us, unless you were born in the early part of 88, that Saturn just left Sagittarius. That being said, no, you weren't supposed to give your signs. You didn't have to. This was strictly for tarot. So if you didn't give your signs, that's totally fine. It's just whoever did, I'm just kind of incorporating that. But that being said, the card that we have for you, underlying theme, Mar, we have is the Eight of Cups, which is Saturn in Pisces. Saturn in Pisces, my action. Oh yeah. This is you. You're done, right? You're pioneering and embodying a new cycle. So emotional investments you're ready to walk away from, walk away. The Eight of Cups is talking about maybe a spiritual journey where you're going to seek within, or you physically move. This could be someone moving towards you, but Eight of Cups is, I'm getting the sense where your work is finished, right? And we do have the Four of Swords. So you are gaining rest. You're putting things to rest. I get the sense that maybe certain people you gave a chance, you're done off that. But not like in a vindictive cut you off way. You're going to sleep on decisions. Maybe if you do have plans, Four of Swords is saying to sleep on it, but it's really saying you're gaining mental restoration. I love The Pilgrim's Progress, one of my favorite books my mom put me onto. It's saying to realistically, honor The time you have to take a break, to go on vacation. This could even be saying to just leave where you're at and to just go on vacation. But yeah, you're going to gain some rest through this. Sleep on any important decisions before you make them, and step through it drastically. Now, next we have Elizabeth. Okay. So for Elizabeth, the underlying theme we have for you, and thank you very much, we do have the King of Swords. You are, of course, approaching everything from the highest level. Okay. King of Swords is being at the top of your field. It's gaining expert advice. So the underlying theme we have for you, Elizabeth, is to approach things completely impartially, completely objectively, because we all have a sense of bias that we're going to apply, but you still have the opportunity to look at things like King Solomon was judging between those two ladies, and he was able to see who was lying or not. No matter how invested you may be in a scenario, this might even be indicating that you are at some of the highest, brightest minds in your field. You're at the top of your field, or you're gaining advice from someone at the top of his game. King of Wands is saying, be impartial, be objective, do not pick sides, and look at things through that lens, because we do have the Four of Swords for you as well, which is going to enable you to gain great mental restoration and clarity, and put you in a position to approach things from a calm, centered, and like clear mind. Sleep on important decisions. Bonus card we have for you is the 10 of Pentacles, Mercury and Virgo. So there's a lot of wealth. This could be a major contract you may come into. This could be passive income, inheritances. I think this is great wealth you come into yourself, but it wasn't by working extra hard. It's by working smart and taking the time out to gain rest and to really approach this from a higher intellectual place. Okay, which I think is super dope. I'm not even going to lie. I'm very interested to see how that fits in with you. Now, we do have, of course, Christopher Brown. What should Temba hold for your boy? Let's go. Let's go. So what we have, underlying theme, is the 10 of Pentacles, Mercury and Virgo. So the underlying theme is mad wealth, son. You have, and I like the 10 of Pentacles because it doesn't mean that this wealth has to come overnight. You could very well, as an underlying theme, create the strategy and game plan that will secure long-term wealth throughout the rest of your life. This could also mean you're cutting into an inheritance. You've won it big. You're creating passive income. The underlying theme for September is wealth. And of course, Mercury is in Virgo, and this is Mercury in Virgo. It just entered Virgo, and the card we have for September is activating out of thin air brand new passionate opportunities based on massive wealth. All right, so this is beautiful, bruh. This is the only thing is you need to grab it while it's hot. Pause. All right, and put yourself in a position. And put yourself in a position to strike while the iron is hot. I see this as a brand new opportunity that secures this wealth. And I think that's beautiful, knowing that that's what's in for September for you. So yes, may I have a card? I was told recently I have a trust. 10 of Pentacles is going to be beneficiary of the trust money and sorting through the trustees. So that could also be it. Family trust, inheritances, all that. So we have, may I please have a card for this epic nodal return week eclipse season? Let's go. Okay, yeah, the pick a card reading gonna be fire. We're gonna be drawing from the Demon Slayer deck per usual. I think after that we'll go back to the Dragon Ball Z deck, a favorite. So I'm looking forward to that, guys. What do you hold on? What do you prefer? I'm gonna put a quick poll, and I'll do another poll. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm childish. I only like majors, but do you guys want to do a pick a card with the tarot deck, or do you want to do it with the major only tarot deck? So I'm gonna do these last few live readings, and I want you guys to vote. And then when we do the pick a card reading, we'll also vote again. And bro, I love that for you. This is awesome. So what do we have for Bonnie Jean? Okay. I like the major only because the messages are more streamlined and there's less of a chance of you pulling a minor card that you don't like. Even though that's the childish way of reading cards, and I'm just gonna outright admit it's why I don't do reversals. People who read reversal cards are mature adult people. I'm not that matured. Keep it upright for me. I don't like reading reversals. The people who read reversals like a Scarlet Moon or an Integrative Tarot, you know what I'm saying? Like they legit, like they know all the combinations. They even know how to see that. I'm not at that level. I just like to keep it upright, and if anything, just all major. Like just just keep it fun. Keep the messages kind of positive. If you want the real readings, do the ones who do reversals because that don't play at all. It is what it is. And the reverse cards don't have to really be negative, but yeah. So Bonnie Jean, we do have the Page of Wands, okay? And shout out to the other tarot card readers. There's so many. I'm forgetting one. I think he's a Cancer gentleman. He usually dresses up in a certain way. We got the Majis. We got the energy reader or she used to go by Tarot Priest. We got the Kinos, the Gem Goddesses, Water Star Vibe. Shout out to all you tarot readers, Tyler Tarot. There's so many of you. Shout out to you guys actually, being consistent and doing it because I think it's unfair how you guys may not get credit for carrying forth this through these mediums, but you guys have carried a lot for so many and you've helped a lot get through so many. Minnow and Pond, like if you're a tarot reader, you've been out here leaving Rich Lop, like congratulations. To giving you your flowers. The Page of Wands we do have this week. You're receiving very exciting news. And this is the outcome we had, I think, for the first reading. This, of course, nodal return week and eclipse is going to get you excited. And this is the attitude you want to adopt. How can you be excited ahead of time? What do you have to look forward to? Cuz we do have the Knight of Wands. So this is going to be a very passionate week for you. There's a message of excitement that I think is going to bring you this excitement. And you're going to be, of course, inspired to move around and to take advantage of this, I think, resurgence and revival of creativity. Okay. So, the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands is just this unbridled excitement. And I think putting you in a position to fuel your routine and goals with and through that. Last but not least, we have Giselle. All right. Giselle, I didn't tell you when you called. I had already had a 2-hour conversation with a lady who really revealed her divine nature to me. And we connected very powerfully. It was already quite the interesting day. And then you called shortly after. It was such a synchronistic meeting. It really closed and made the day for me. And I just felt blessed speaking to two high vibrational queens. I hate how cliche that might sound, but that's honestly what it felt like. So yeah, I'm very grateful. Underlying theme we do have is the Three of Swords. You are making the cuts that are necessary. The Three of Swords, Saturn, Libra, I think it looks like such a negative card, but I think you're ruthless in this pursuit. You're not really going to entertain anybody who does not honor and respect your heart. So you're making cuts. You're willing to make the sacrifices necessary as an underlying theme. You're going to be exposed to who is betraying you, who doesn't have your best interest. And now we do have the Eight of Pentacles, the work you're doing. Keep up that great work. We do have the Page of Cups. I think you have people opening up to you during work and for you. I think you have people who love your work. They love the quality and the value you've brought into. I don't think a lot of people know that you've produced amazing work. Like it's shifted your community. And it's putting people on in a way you can never know. And we do have the Four of Swords coming out again, too. So there is this sense of rest. This rest is also going to really help get you through any recent heartbreak. And I think the Page of Cups could also be you falling in love with the work that you do in a new way. I get the sense that certain people may open up their feelings or really just, you tap in more intuitively in a new creative way. But the Four of Swords is really going to either bring great vacation and rest from maybe the consistency you've put in, but also really prepare and bless you with a clearer mind through this. And we also have the Ten of Pentacles for you bonus card. So this work you're doing is going to lead into so much more wealth. Okay. Which I think is awesome. Woo! All right, guys. I think that's everything. You guys are amazing. We are going to reconvene tomorrow or Thursday for the, of course, pick a card reading. And until next time, my friends, peace.